Okay guys, this is absolutely crazy. These angelfish have laid another batch of eggs on the Amazon sword plant leaf. That's insane, and they look healthy too. This is so cool. The male's in the way. He's a beautiful male, and here's the female. Might as well show you them as he's covering the eggs. That's the female right there. And so look at those eggs. Holy crap. They used to lay them here on this slate that I provided them, but this is the first time they laid them on a leaf. And they once laid their eggs on my sponge filter pipe, right on that green pipe. And it was crazy because the babies, they fell. That's her fanning the eggs, by the way. That's so cool. She's using her fins to push water towards the eggs to oxygenate them and get rid of any fungal spores, little bacteria that might be trying to infect the eggs, eat the eggs. Look at my black dragon. He's out. He's a beast. Ancestris, bristlenose pleco. Got another one right here. A lot of them actually. I lost my favorite bristlenose pleco, the Hungarian horntail, who he was kind of the mascot of this fish room, but he died of natural causes because I've had him for many years. Still pretty sad, but I buried him in our garden, so his body is now going to fuel the soil health in our garden. But look at that, man. Holy crap. By the way, the water in these tanks is better than it ever has been before because I'm using RODI water that I remineralized myself. So there's literally nothing in this water that shouldn't be there. Nothing at all. Well, after enough water changes. I did a big hefty water change, but I didn't want to completely replace the water with remineralized RODI water because you don't want to do big drastic changes. Hold on, I gotta get the macro lens. But the water quality is considerably better than it used to be. But yeah, let me get that macro lens for those eggs. Here's my macro lens. What a beauty. I just got this thing. Okay, we got the macro lens on, and it's focused on the eggs. And it's focused on her fanning the eggs. This is so cool. Look at the health of those eggs, man. Despite the awesome vibration reduction built into these cameras these days, with a macro lens it's still very difficult. I'm keeping my hands as stable as I can, but here, let me get a little bit closer to give you guys a better... Oh my gosh, man, look at that. This macro lens was so worth the price. I couldn't have done this with my extension tubes. But yeah, we have hundreds, I think, of eggs. And we're going to be getting more and more as my angelfish grow bigger. And they're not going to be in this 40 gallon for much longer. Well, toward the end of the summer I'll move them. I wish I could have captured that, but the male just shooed away one of the bristlenose plecos, one of my dragons, who got too close. Angelfish are quite territorial when they're guarding their eggs. This macro lens is amazing. It's my first prime lens. Gotta get better at using it, but look at that. Look at what it can produce. Might need one of those CPL filters to get rid of the glare from the glass. I'm not sure. But for now, I don't want to spend any more money. This has been quite an investment for me, as I'm still not monetized, but it's just really, I think it was the right choice buying this lens. Recording these animals has become just such a joy with the proper equipment. Look at her fanning those eggs. One of my predictions as to why they chose this Amazon sword leaf to lay these eggs instead of the usual rock slate that they choose is because I believe they think that less snails will be able to access these eggs now since it's on the leaf. And it's like, for a snail to climb that leaf, it's like a very small entry point to start climbing, so less snails can get up on that leaf, and they can however many get on, they can just pick them off, I guess, just push them off. Whereas the rock slate, it was, you know, snails can get on there a lot easier because there's such a wide base at the ground for them to climb from. Whereas the Amazon sword leaf, It's wide up top, but narrow on the bottom. That's my theory as to why they chose the leaf. And in the wild common angelfish, Pterophyllum scalare, they often choose leaves, you know, so I guess they're also expressing their instinctive behaviors. Oh, we got some dragons going at it. This is my dragon tower. This lens makes a funny noise when it refocuses, but yeah, I'm still learning how to use it. But yeah, I can't wait for these angelfish to grow a little bit bigger. Well, actually, I can wait for that because I'm in the process of creating their 55-gallon and I need some time. I don't want them to outgrow this 40-gallon just yet. I'm beginning work on constructing their 50-gallon, testing out different substrates, getting my RODI system installed and working so it can be fully filled up with RODI, remineralized water. So in other words, it will be the best tank that I've ever created in my years of keeping tanks, because I won't be using a single drop of tap water, dechlorinated tap water. I'll be using RODI water and then remineralizing it myself in a separate reservoir and letting everything fully dissolve in, and then filling up my tanks from those RODI remineralized reservoirs of water. I can talk about that more in depth in other videos, but just know that these fish are going to be healthier than ever before, because there won't be any compounds in the water, any chemicals in the water that don't belong in the water for fish. And water is a fish's entire body. Like, it permeates through their skin, enters all their organs. So whatever's in the water is going to usually end up inside their bodies. And if it's harmful chemicals, that's going to be in their bodies as well. By the way, these eggs I'm not going to attempt to raise because I already have done that. My first batch of angelfish eggs that I raised turned out really pretty well for a first time. I got 5 of them, which I know is not a good success rate, but for your first time, that's as good as you should expect, because it's actually not super easy to successfully raise angelfish if it's your first time. There's a lot of things that need to be right. The temperature, the ammonia levels need to be monitored, and if you don't have your systems like set for all that, it's just, you're not going to get a good hatch rate, and a lot of fish breeders will tell you that. Nick from Keeping Fish Simple on YouTube, the channel Keeping Fish Simple, he says you can expect about 5 to survive on your first time trying to raise angelfish eggs up into adults, subadults, and I got exactly 5 to survive, which at first I was pretty upset about because I thought I was doing everything right. But my theory is I just have to keep that water extra clean, supremely clean, stable water parameters, use the right amount of methylene blue, and on my second go I should get a higher hatch rate. Not to say I'm not satisfied with the outcome here. Like, I've never raised angelfish babies before, and this has been an absolute just treat. Raising these babies up, and they actually come up when I put my finger in here. I'm calling them over right now. You got one comer. They come right up to my finger because this is the corner of the tank that I feed them from. So I've literally trained these fish to come up to me. They think I'm about to feed them some nice treats, and for them that means snails. I have a lot of snails in my tank so that I have to crack the snail and then they'll eat it. Kind of cruel, but it's just one of nature's cycles that I'm kind of fostering here. I'm all about creating ecosystems, and if I can cull the snail population in a way that actually feeds my animals, my fish, that's all the better, you know, because my tanks will overflow with snails, and if I can recycle them back into my ecosystems, then that is awesome. And it's an awesome source of food for them, live food. They gobble them right up. They gobble those snails up. But yeah, guys, back to this tank. This guy keeps blocking the shot. This is so freaking cool. Oh man, this is like a portal into what you would see under the Amazon's waterways, except it's a lot clearer here. The Amazon is a whole nother story with the sheer diversity of life you'll get to find there, and I can't wait to go back. It's just, I'm really working hard on creating an income source from this YouTube channel this year. I don't want to spend more money, and traveling is expensive, so. But I do have goals of starting another show, which is going to be travel focused, called, the idea I have for it now is called Wild Origins. And I want it to be a hit series on YouTube and maybe other platforms where I travel the world and I show different cultures and their relationship with nature. How they harvest their food, certain species they have relationships with, how they farm the land. It's going to be called Wild Origins, and that's only going to be after I'm able to make a large following on YouTube on my own. Then I'll be able to network with other people in the industry and make that vision come to life. But I'd love to do that. Travel and go back to the Amazon, go back to East Africa, go back to Alaska. Those trips are not cheap, you know. So I'm just hunkered down this year and working with my head down this entire year. And I'm actually blowing my own mind how much I'm improving with the quality of my videos. Not just the quality, but like the pacing, the storytelling, the thumbnail creation. Everything is improving at a really awesome rate because it's what I'm really focusing on this year. I'm just taking one course, you know, a biology course this year. I wanted to have a light semester, so I could focus on YouTube literally. I'll be getting my master's degree in biology by the end of 2026 if all goes well, God willing. But yeah, just wanted to share this awesome surprise. You know, this is just, I have no words for when I discover something like this in nature. It's what I live for. It's that feeling that I live for, you know, like, it's just like that feeling of wow, holy crap, unexpected awesomeness that you see in nature sometimes that, I'm getting goosebumps just talking about it. It's happened to me so many times, whether I'm out walking and hiking and I see something cool, or something like this that happened today. Finding these eggs was just the highlight of my day today. And you can even see like the little, I think that's the embryo on top, meaning that they're fertilized. Alright guys, that was just a quick one, but stay tuned for much more here on the channel. Please like the video if you haven't already, and feel free to leave some comments down below. Let's get a nice positive discussion going down below in the comments. Until next time, and remember, keep it wild. Say goodbye, Mama. Say goodbye, Dad. That's the mom and the dad of these 500 or so eggs. Wow, haven't counted them, but that's just a number that sounded cool. Peace out, guys. Until next time, and remember, keep it wild.